Hi, love. Welcome back to Soften Up. I'm so glad you're here. Today, we're talking about those places in our world that bring us deep, deep peace and reset and calm and connection to ourselves. In 2023, I set out to do a year-long creative project of posting every single week on Substack. If you don't know, I have a Substack called Ease is My Compass. I created it for this special project. When I think back to that September 2023 timeframe, I was really in a place of questioning whether or not I was a writer. And one of my first pieces on my Substack was 88 journals and still questioning that I'm a writer. The point was, I am a writer, and I was also in kind of this like bad habit, if you will, of hoarding it all to myself. So I did. I set out to do several different seasons throughout the whole year so that I had some breaks in between. And I made it. I did it. I arrived to a year later, having posted somewhere between 40 and 50 posts. It's still something that I feel so very proud of. And I really poured my heart into so many of those pieces. And one of them was, where are your peace places? Knowing where to find your peace is half the battle. I wanted to read this today together because I was planning on kind of revamping it or doing it a little differently. And then I reread it. I'm just like, this is great. I really love what I created. And I thought to turn it into a podcast episode just feels right on point for spreading this magic of knowing where your peace places are. And it really is so true. Like, knowing where to find your peace is half the battle. Knowing where these places are that you can recharge and come back to yourself and reset, whether it be in nature or with your own company or with people around you. Knowing how to do that in these times is so incredibly essential. It's a very high sacred act of self-care. And as we know, peace sometimes needs protection. Protecting our peace looks like knowing where to find it in the first place. You know what I'm saying? So with all that said, here is, where are your peace places? Quiet moments often need to be chosen these days. I heard someone say recently that millennials are the last generation to know boredom. I think that says a lot about how technology dominates our in-between moments. Most of us take our phones with us to the bathroom. I think that sums up the point pretty well. I've been reflecting on where my peace places are, the rooms or parks or sacred places in my home where I go to find my center. It's a phrase that came to me just a few months ago, and it perfectly sums up the essence of these corners of my world. These places recalibrate me. They're often where I go to sink back into myself when the world feels swirly. They bring me back to me. As you read mine, I encourage you to reflect on where your peace places are. Taking it one step further, what somatic feelings or sensations in your body arise in you as you think of them? Breathe into them as they surface. What a thing to cherish that they left such a mark on your inner world. Offer them thanks for being your sacred sanctuaries amidst our fast-paced modern lives. Lastly, thank yourself for seeking them in the first place. There are plenty of people walking this earth day in and day out who do not choose such caring things for themselves as prioritizing many moments of peace. How lovely, how brave. Here are some examples that might inspire your own peace places. Peaceful parks. I can think back on every place in the world that I've lived and recall with longing each park that became a friend to me while living there. These parks grew me, held me, and reminded me of what's true. They remind me that Mother Nature always has a remedy for what ails us. The land holds us no matter where we are, and yet each place on the planet vibrates distinctly within us. They nurture us in different ways at different parts of our journey. And when I think of visiting these places, these parks are always top of my list to visit while there. In London, it was Regent's Park. In Old Brooklyn, it was Brookside Reservation. Cardiff on the Sea, it was San Elijo Lagoon and Glen Park. In Ubud, it was the nature around my homestay. In Brea, it was Tri-City Park. And in Parma, it was Big Creek Parkway. Another one of my peace places is sacred altars. Growing up, I only knew one altar. That was the one at Our Lady of Good Counsel Parish in Cleveland, Ohio. It was a designated place for those closest to God, the priest and his supporting cast. I was one of them as a devoted altar girl in grade school. I always felt like I was walking on forbidden territory in a way, even though I was allowed to be there. That marble held religious secrets, crisp white tablecloths, fancy candlesticks, and a gold tabernacle. The altar was everyone's focus, and yet only a select few ever stood there week to week. As I left religion behind, I started to learn that anything could be an altar anywhere you decide. A delightfully tended circle of sticks, flower petals and stones on the forest floor, a few crystals and a figurine on a nightstand while traveling, a rosary, a freshly fallen autumn leaf, and an acorn brought home from a long walk. My office is a home to 2 altars. One altar is for my life, to celebrate, grieve, to honor, to give gratitude, and to manifest. And the other one is for my business, to ground, center into my service, and align with my next step and direction. They are adorned with many sweet little gems from my travels around the country and globe. Each season calls for a reset of the altars with different colors, textures, fabrics, candles, and beyond. These places give me a home base. No matter how many times I moved while living nomadically in my first year in San Diego, I always had a little bag that held my altar treasures. I'd set them up on a dresser or in the corner, no matter where I stayed or for how long. It reminded me that home is where I am, and whenever I am connected to a power greater than me. Another peace place is with community. Do you ever know that feeling when you're with people you adore, who light you up and who make you laugh? Or when you've gathered with some of your favorite humans and the music is just right and the vibe is immaculate and you look around and see a palpable, joyful buzz floating around the room? That is a peace place for me. I find them to be so fleeting and divine and magical. So many things need to align for those people to enjoy in just that way, in that exact location, talking about those precise things, listening to that glorious music. I just swoon. I often silently float kisses of gratitude like heart-shaped balloons right from my heart to the divine. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I whisper, this is the good stuff. Another peace place is in the arms of my love. I'm gently overcoming the bashful side of me that hesitates to include this one because I'd be truly remiss not to after receiving a love like this in my life. I made some really devastatingly hard calls along the way to entertain even an inkling of an iota of a possibility that a love like this was in the cards for me in this life. Being in her arms is home. I don't know how I got so blessed for things to work out this way, but I know I will savor and delight in every chance I get to cozy up into her nook. Our generative, sweet, silly, loving connection brings me a kind of peace I never knew existed. That one got me. That one got me good. Oh, so sweet. I'm so lucky. This has given me the warm and fuzzies, y'all. The last peace place that I'm sharing today is my journal. I've never known exactly why, but words bring me peace. I love the shape and the sound of them. I love the feeling of writing them with pen in my hand. I love how they help me go from nothing to something. I love how, like a spell, certain words strung together evoke a world of emotion, feelings, and experiences with them. Words wield power. The pages that catch them are limitless, yet limited by borders. My journals are sentimental keepsakes for me. They hold my innermost world in them, a me that I could be all to myself. I became brave on those pages, one word at a time. Writing in my journal brings me peace. It's a practice that realigns me to the here and now. They catch the nonsense and the profound and everything in between. What a gift they are and have been since I was a little girl. It's a practice that I adore and plan on enjoying for many more decades to come. As we round out this mini journey into the power of peace places, perhaps grab your own journal or the like and reflect on the places that bring you peace. Remember that whatever they may be for you, it's essential to prioritize time in these peace places. We are better for it anytime we can enjoy them. 5 minutes or 5 hours. You deserve to prioritize and protect your peace, even more so in turbulent times. Enjoy the process, and if you're inspired to share some of them with me, share them here. I'd love to relish in them with you. Until next time, love.